Chandler representing Sustainable Tahoe. And our mission is to, as yours, long-term economic prosperity with water clarity. I would like to comment on Joy as I used to be a visitor here for many years, and I hated Tahoe because I was stuck and forced into the commercial corridors, and I guarantee that I did not come up here for the lodging or the shopping or the food. They have way better food in the Bay Area. So I agree that Tahoe looks way better naked, and when I got up here and I was able to access the Temple of Tahoe and take off my shoes and really embrace Tahoe, that I fell in love with Tahoe, and I've given my whole life to serve Tahoe, as we are a nonprofit, unfunded group of local passionate volunteers that are working to help this become a world stage of stewardship. Looking over the plan, I have a few comments I wanted to call out. One is expanding this commercial space is insane. Sometimes the best way forward is to look around, not ahead, or at least look around first. And if you look around, we already have a footprint that could be reassessed, reutilized, and we're missing some huge money. I would like to comment on something Jennifer said and also Cindy, because I thought they brought up a good point. It got me to draw a little map here. Since the North Shore, since the lake is not evenly distributed as where it is best to put hotels or lodging or accommodations, and where it's best to really access the magic of the basin, that it would make sense, and I know this may be something you don't have jurisdiction over, but if, when, as we work together as Lake County, as one entire basin, one watershed, what could make sense is people that put out the money, like what Cindy's talking about, to mitigate up in the north, where it's more conducive to bike paths and pedestrian, that somehow the people that have the heads in beds, a percentage of the TAUs maybe goes back, a percentage goes back to serve that area so that they have the money to do this mitigation. There's some way where preservation is truly profitable. And one thing I will just say to look at this, we have the Tahoe Expo. It's basically guided adventures of everything that can be petroglyphed on a rock, which show the future of what exists. And I'm only putting this out to just show you something. We launched this through shoulder season. I've talked to the hotels, they discount 40% at shoulder season. So I said, what if you didn't have to discount 40% because, hey, the bears go down and they pull the salmon out of Taylor Creek, and you could book your hotel just on that alone? Just a point of fact, New York State, $1.6 billion a year in wildlife viewing. Why? Because people come up to see it naked. They want to see what is here that they can't get anywhere else. Then, and this is all destinations want, is hungry, tired, and inspired people. Because once they're hungry, they're tired and inspired, they will eat, sleep, and shop no matter how bad our food is, no matter how crappy our hotels, and they won't notice. They won't notice because they can't get watching bears pull salmon out of the Taylor Creek anywhere else, as close to San Francisco. They can't get seeing the eagle's nest and the kayaking in the lake. They can't get that. If we focus on what we have that nobody else has, what is unique to us and important to the visitor, all the money will come for the infrastructure. Please don't expand the commercial car. Redevelop what we have in a magical way. For instance, Kings Beach, economic run-up. People come down 267, they go to the right or the left. Why? Because we are blocking the abundance of Kings Beach. If all these hotels from Coon to Sea Klein were removed, you would have an economic tsunami. The place couldn't even handle the amount of money. You couldn't handle the money. I guarantee it. It would smoke the 1.6 billion. But you could move this over on the side. But when it makes it, the way things are set up now, ratty, crappy hotels stuck on the beach blocking abundance, is the price we're paying. Another missed opportunity of the colleges. There's all this thing about you have to hold a gun to the head to get people to do BMPs. But colleges could have whole classes around BMPs. If you get those college kids to come up with unique ideas. You know, they're trying to close state parks. Why not make a college class university? Go figure out how to keep the park open. The ski resorts, you know, Diamond Peak, they can't pay for the... Sierra Nevada College has a ski resort. Put those kids in the living lab, get them up there running that ski resort. Here's the deal. You got scientists telling you if you're going to pollute the lake, and you've got economists telling you if you're not making profit. You got to make preservation profitable. Do it. That's your final. Forget the term papers and make it real. Use the living lab of Tahoe. That can be done in every California state park. They don't need to close it. They just need to get creative and connect curriculum to it. Right now, I'm helping Sierra Nevada College build out geotourism curriculum for 2013. We've already had students in a sustainability group go down to South Lake, create itineraries that would help people touch Tahoe naked without leaving a footprint, and book those rooms during shoulder season. We can even out our economy using what we have in a new way, helping people access it in a new way, using a trinomic model, thinking about what do you love, what do you have, and what are you willing to do. That's what Northeast Kingdom did when they first looked at geotourism. First they looked outside, we need a water sled like them. If we only had restaurants like them, this like them. Pretty soon that's what National Geographic said, you're all cookie cutter. You all look alike. Great, you have great food. You think people from San Francisco are coming up here for our food? Get real. We can't make them sick with our food, but they don't have this. Now, we host water. Snow, river, stream, forest, fauna, and your property values, and everything we're talking about here is based on this water. There is no conversation without this water. How we host this water will determine your long-term prosperity and our own survival, because it's critical to the world's water, according to the scientists. My final thing, this isn't going to come easy. There really is no way that the TRPA can uphold the thresholds if the staff funding comes from governments. I'm sorry, it's a conflict of interest. I think property owners paying by the square footage to fund the TRPA, so there's no potential for pay-to-play economics that just infuriate people, especially the ones that can't move a stone, when other people get to remove all their trees and put a golf course up to the lake. I don't know how you would do it. I don't think any human, it's very hard to get beyond that mindset. The staffing money cannot come from permits. If you can't change that, I don't know really how you're going to uphold thresholds. And the last thing I want to say is about climate change. I think it's time that we get out of denial that people live here and we shrink that footprint, which you talked about in option 3. Shrink it, make it higher, and let people have solar. In Klein Village, the recreation center pays $5,000 a month to heat that pool. 20 years ago, they wanted to put solar on, but it reflected to the lake, so we couldn't have the scenic corridor. I think that's what you're looking at, how to address the thresholds so they make sense for the 21st century. Because without alternative energy, and in swap for putting the alternative energy on and shrinking the footprint, create open space for the migration of the wildlife. 1.6 billion is just the tip of the iceberg. You're missing so much money. There's no wildlife guiding here. Open space to see those bears, be able to walk down to the water, all the different animals that are here. There is enough money to save us all. And we can redevelop what we have. We can think about using the existing footprint in a new way. And for God's sake, get those ferries out and use the talent that's here. I'm very excited to see the North Transit going. I'm very sad to see that they went outside of the basin when the talent is here, and we need the jobs right here in Reno with nano batteries. We can build the transit system we have incredible engineers. We don't need to go outside the basin. We need to look around before we look ahead. Blessings.
Thank you, Jackie.